You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. Well, hello, kids. Good morning and welcome to episode number 7 of Just a Nibble, the Not Quite Daily Beaver. For those moments when you still want your Beaver-Grizzly goodness, but just don't have time for a whole bite. Good morning, Kit Stonald Bitch Witch. Good morning, Kitty Lane. Good morning, Kit Linda. So glad you can join us live today. Today, recording day, is Wednesday, October 19th, 2022, and it's going to be a cool and rainy day here at the Beaver Lodge. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, hey, Mr. Beaver A, and I'm just merry that you kids are meeting us today. Of course, a big thank you goes to our podcast's founding sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. And the headlines today, it's pretty much going to be a Danielle Smith fest. And if we have time for other stuff, we'll put it in because she's basically a one-woman hot mess express. But before we start, good morning, Mr. Grizzly.
Good morning. How are you this morning, Mr. Beaver?
I thought it was going to be a rough morning, but I am actually quite energetic and chipper.
Well, I'm glad one of us is. I'm in a great mood. I just, the last 2 days, I've woke up feeling hungover. I haven't had anything to drink since we were at the pub on Saturday.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so 2 days in a row feeling completely hungover with no alcohol intake. So, I don't know. Maybe
and that was just 3.5 beers.
3 in total.
Oh, 3 in total. Yes, it's true. Yeah,
over the course of a 6-hour period, too, remember?
Yes. Right.
So ultra light, but it tastes like a beer. That's why I enjoy it. But ultra light beer, 3 of them over a 6-hour period. So it's got nothing to do with the weekend. I think combination of the weather, the season, and I'm probably sweating a tremendous amount in the evening, when I go to bed at night. And then when I wake up, I'm dehydrated, which is the hangover feeling, right? So.
Yep, indeed. So, shall we get to it?
Yes, because we don't have a lot of time this morning because I got to be in the office for 8. So let's get rolling.
All right. We have some Danielle Smith stuff galore. So yeah, just pop them up and we'll run through them. Because wow, she can produce.
Yeah, here's one. I pulled up these ones quickly. This is from Deborah Apps. She says, have appreciated the opportunity to be of service to Alberta, but can't in good conscience accept the positions adopted by the new UCP and Danielle Smith or direction party is moving. I have resigned from both provincial government board appointments. This is not conservatism. And then there was 2 responses. She's right. There's 2 responses. The first one says, this Albertan thanks you for your integrity and conviction. I agree with you. This is not conservatism. May we all be able to save the problems from the path we seem doomed to tread here. And then the response to that tweet is, I think, the capper because it kind of sums up who we are. Yup. As a leftist, I've always been open to hearing what actual progressive conservatives have to say. I've even voted for them at times. That's true of both of us. I was a big fan of Jean Charest for the CPC leadership. Can't tolerate the populist, divisive form of conservatism that's taking hold now, though. And that's just the beginning.
And it's not conservatism. I mean, they've literally turned their back on every conservative principle that there is, right? A stitch in time saves 9. An ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. Spend a little now to not have to spend a lot later. carbon regulatory pricing, not little government intervention. You get to decide how much tax you pay. They've turned their back on all of it. All of it.
Oh yeah.
Putting the nation first, putting the military first, putting police first. If you're supporting an occupation, you've definitely turned your back on police, on citizens of city, and on basic democracy and institutions. And there's nothing conservative about conservatism. Well, what's
Nothing.
masquerading as conservatism anymore?
Nothing.
They're just
Absolutely nothing.
all right.
I completely agree.
Put them up. We've got a parade of them. Okay, number one. Here's a tweet from Alberta, from Danielle Smith from the UCP account, where she says, "Alberta is leading the nation in economic growth, and families are once again moving to our province for low taxes and high-paying jobs. Albertans are leaders and do not need permission from Ottawa to be strong and free." You never did. No province ever needed permission. That's just something you are or you're not, right? This victim supplication thing. And then Max Fawcett published a parody from the Western Standard Pitchbot that says, "Danielle Smith to host daily 11 a.m. clarification briefings to shed light on previous remarks."
I laughed so hard at that one because it seems to be so real.
It's been 2 weeks, man. And it's like, I'm just commented on our blog page. "Hello, Alberta. Today I'd like to clarify my clarification of last time when I said I didn't intend to say. Girls are hotter and stickier mess than my frying pan when I candy bacon by pouring maple syrup on it."
Just like, good God, woman.
Bring it up. The next one.
This one here.
Yeah, Deatter really nailed him. She's with this cartoon, she's standing in a graveyard with residential schools, and she's like sitting there with a big smile on her face. "Anti-vaxxers are the most discriminated group that I've ever witnessed." And then Theo, the good Theo, the one we like, not the other one, Theo Moudakis. Yep. Yes. He has Danielle Smith opening the door at the Alberta's premier's residence with a mini Vlad Putin with seeming elf ears.
He's a little fella too.
Pumpkin. Yeah. Yep. And she goes, "Ooh, I love little Russian war criminal costumes." And Vlad goes, "It's not a costume.
It's not costume. It's not costume." Wow.
Keep them coming.
Is it this one? I can't remember if it's this. No, that's not it.
No, that's not it.
Maybe it's this one.
No. They're all marked DS.
Oh, DS? Okay, just a sec here. There's a bunch of them. Oh, there we go. Yeah, here we go.
All right. And then this was the big one where yesterday, apparently some news of past comments where she basically was saying, she basically took the full, really, really whacked out Trump line about the war, Russia and Ukraine, that basically Ukraine should remain neutral and just lie down and take it.
Mm-hmm.
Let Russia roll over them. So today I am reaffirming my condemnation of the Russian invasion of Ukraine and offering my full apology for past comments. And it's like, okay, how many swings at bat, how many reversals, apologies, take backs, clarifications do you get in 2 weeks before someone throws you overboard, woman? And how many swings at bat do you get, Hot Mess Express?
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So
okay, I got one more. You want me to pull it up or?
Yeah, you've got one more. Go ahead.
Yeah, one more. This one.
And then this one. It's like Danielle Smith. "Make it 5. I'm amazed that 5 provinces have so quickly joined our noble quest to ensure the Canadian Constitution is respected." This is about the gun buyback and having provincial forces trying to help with that. One of the 5 provinces is Yukon Territory.
Yeah, that's
territory. It's in the name.
It's not a province.
It's in the name.
Oh my goodness.
This is my unimpressed face.
Alberta, you need to revamp your education system because it's clearly failed, Danielle Smith.
Oh my God. So in the UK, I don't know if you've heard, but like things are not going very well for Liz Truss because she too keeps reversing herself. So they started this countdown. Day 1, can Liz Truss outlast this lettuce? Well, here at the Eager Beaver, we're starting our own. Like this number 1, can Danielle Smith outlast a head of cabbage? Because lettuce is just too good for her. And which of Liz Truss or Danielle Smith will get thrown overboard first?
This is an interesting comment from Elaine in the chat. She apologizes but won't say the word sorry.
Yes, she doesn't. Yeah, and she didn't say it the first time. Remember when she said, "I didn't intend to," about
Yeah.
nobody's faced more discrimination. We made that point right when I went all Julius Sugarbaker on her backside, and through all of that, I did not hear those words. I'm sorry. She's not.
She's not. She's
She'll
not.
the
Yep.
conservatism that they're complaining about, those things, is the say anything to get you through the current nanosecond. And if tomorrow you have to swallow yourself whole and digest yourself and poop yourself out, that's fine because we don't care what we look like.
Exactly.
We just don't.
Yeah.
It's it's a waste of time, and they're wasting our money. We're paying for this.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah.
paying for this, right? The amount, when your tax dollars, the amount that goes to keep Parliament open, all the staff, the electricity, the photocopies, the salaries of the MPs for the time that they're in Parliament or doing this, pulling this crap, the benefits that they're accumulating for Parliament. We're literally spending tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to have people take us for fools and to cosplay victim.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Our
It's
Lady of the
absolutely brutal.
Perpetually Victimized. It's crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
true.
Now, if you have that asset, the last one I sent you through private chat, this is a man, I believe, named Gil Gowan, who is
Yeah.
the
Just a sec.
president
I'll,
of
I'll,
the Alberta. He was testifying, Gil McGowan, testifying in committee, and he rocked my world. I'm hoping that we can get him on the show at one point. But here's what he was
hang on a
saying.
sec. Wait a second. I don't think I have that one. Oh, wait.
I put it in the
Wait.
private
Yes, I
chat.
do. Yeah, just a second. I'll bring it back up. My apologies. Just a second here.
Anyway, he's testifying in front of the committee,
Let's
and basically, he called out the Pierre Poliver conservatives on their destructive, self-serving politics while testifying at the Industry and Technology Committee, and made the point how conservatives in the movement are basically in it for themselves.
And here we go. Let's have a gander at this, shall we?
People from the business community, the labor community, the Indigenous community, we're Alberta too. And I'm frankly, I've had it with these loud voices from the conservative right pretending that they speak for all Western Canadians. They do not. And man, do we need to talk. As it stands right now, rational discussion on these issues is being deliberately blocked and shut down instead of helping citizens of Alberta and Saskatchewan prepare themselves for a world that's changing fast. Far too many conservative politicians from our region are using these issues to sow misinformation and whip up anger for their own gain. They say that anyone who doesn't agree with them is trying to shut down our resource industries. They say that an effort to plan for the future that might look even a little different than our past is an attack on our way of life in the prairies. And they even suggest that you're not a real Albertan if you don't join them in defending and doubling down on the status quo. Frankly, I call BS on all of it. We need to put all the ideas on the table, but those ideas are being crowded out by loud political discussions led by conservative politicians. For the record, many of you may have heard what we're up against as I was speaking. There are noises being made by the conservative member on this committee. This is what we deal with every day from the prairies to be heard. And for the conservative members of this committee, around this committee table, please stop. Please stop pretending that you speak for all Western Canadians. You don't. Stop trying to drown out other Western voices. We deserve to be heard just as much as you. And stop trying to demonize us. We're just as much real Westerners as you are.
Well, that was the proper countertone. Right? He's got a smile on his face the whole time, and he's acting like he's amused because this is so damn silly.
Mm-hmm.
And they had so little respect for him that they were, I mean, we couldn't hear it. It's not like question period where there are mics all over the place like this, but they were howling like this, and they were playing the offended versions. Like, how virgins, how dare you say that? No, you're not right. They're literally proving his point as he's making it. It's supposed to be representative of democracy. He's supposed to represent everyone.
They don't have the ability to hold up the mirror and recognize what they're doing, though. They're like, no,
No,
we
today
didn't
being
say
conservative means having a lack of self-awareness.
clearly.
Total lack of self-awareness. Now, there's been an interesting poll that's come out in Alberta. There was an article in the Globe and Mail, and it seems, I can't remember which polling company it is, unfortunately, off the top of my head, but it shows the NDP with 53 and UCP currently polling at 38.
Wow.
Yeah. And she's still got, what, about 6 or 7 months to go. Now, I'm guessing she could kind of sort of turn it around, but I mean, gee, if the first 2 weeks are any indication, it's like, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And I mean, if she
No.
starts, and remember, if they start making a little more moves saying, oh, I apologize for this, well, the 2% of all of the Alberta electorate, right? Because the election for the UCP leader was about 4%. She only got about half of that, because then she loses their money and then she loses her votes, right? If you say like that, the fact that she reversed herself now with the stuff I said about Ukraine, she's probably going to lose a ton of them from that, just the way that Pierre did when he, made a full-throated tweet in favor of Ukraine. He said, I can't believe you said that. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, there you are siding with the woke left again. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, you do one little thing that goes against, and they drop you, right? And she is addicted to the clicks.
Do you remember what woke means, right?
Yes.
It means a sensitivity to social justice issues, especially racism.
Yeah.
So every time they say not woke, they're saying, hi, I'm a white hood wearing cross burning racist piece of human fecal matter.
Yeah.
At least that's my interpretation, because they seem to be interpreting what woke means lately when there's a Merriam-Webster definition of it in the dictionary.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Now, if you have it, I included the asset that I forgot on the last show about the polling for the Federal Conservatives.
Yeah.
Now, that's the one I was trying to show you. If you see how the Conservatives were low somewhere between August 2022 and October 2022, and then they just like spiked right up, way, way high, right? Higher than the Liberals have ever been. This is from 338 Canada. For those who are listening at home, the odds of winning the most seats. It's a graph that features the Liberals and the Conservatives. And that dot up there is over the 70% mark.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just last week. And that has dropped from 52. The Liberals were down to between 20 and 30% chances, and they've rose back up to 47.
Yeah, so that's
people
kind of
don't
telling.
want loony.
No.
People do not
No,
want
they
loony.
don't.
And if you play the clip that I showed you, that the Trudeau clip.
Oh, yeah, just a second. I'll pull that up.
Yes.
And bear with
Liberals
me.
are starting to do something that's a little interesting.
Yeah, you could say that.
The communications guy in me likes this.
Hey everyone, Christian and I were just in a meeting when we heard the good news that our bill doubled the GST tax credit for 11 million households across this country over the next 6 months. It's just passed royal assent. This is great news for families. It's going to be real help this fall.
I am so happy about this, Prime Minister. It means that a family with a couple of kids will get nearly $500. It means that a single person will get just over $230, and Canadian seniors on average will get $225. Now, we know that this isn't going to cover everything, but it's real support for the people who need it. And, Prime Minister, what was really great and kind of surprising is we had unanimous support in the House of Commons. All the parties in the end realized this was the right thing to do. That's why we were able to do it so fast.
Yeah, no, that's great news. Mais la réalité que nous avons besoin maintenant que le Parti conservateur appuie aussi notre initiative pour aider les familles à faible revenu avec de l'aide pour des soins dentaires pour leurs enfants et aussi de l'aide aux locataires de $500 de plus pour aider les locataires à faible revenu. C'est de l'aide directe qu'on veut envoyer aux familles. On a besoin que tous les parlementaires l'appuient pour le passer rapidement. On continue notre travail d'être là pour vous.
C'est très important.
Okay, so for those who do not understand French, what he was saying and what the Prime Minister was saying in addition is now we need the support of the Conservatives to help us pass the dental care plan for families, because they've already voted against it at, I believe, at second reading, and the $500 rent subsidy. Now, if you haven't listened to our last flagship episode, Costs of Living, we recommend that you do, because we really take a deep dive into all the measures that the Liberals have proposed. And as we do, we with our flagships, we script it out and we do content so that you've got the real thing. But what I found really interesting is they're starting to crowd Peter Poppinjay's turf. That was very well done.
Yes, they are.
Because the one
he's like selfie cell phone video. It's like, hey, where have I seen this before?
And
beat them at their own game.
Yeah, crowd the turf. Don't let him be the only one that's working that corner. And Liberals are atrocious at trumpeting their own achievements. So this made me happy.
Terrible.
Yeah, as a communications guy. I think I have. Is there another? Are the other assets?
There's one.
Public order related.
I have one more. Well, one more video clip that we'll play, because we did this on Dean's show the other day.
Yes,
and it's a thing of beauty. I mean, it really is a thing of beauty.
Municipal
so we're going to watch this one more time, because it just makes me smile.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, sorry. Yes, hello. Well, you can stay there. Hi.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'm Michael Van Holst, your city councilor.
Oh, yes, you're the anti-vaxxer guy, right?
What?
You're the anti-vaxxer guy?
Well.
Get fucked.
The look of defeat on his face when he realized the keyboard warrior in me does not have the giant cojones that I thought I did. I'm a coward, and I'm going to run away quickly because I was just confronted by a housewife, or let me rephrase that. That was wrong of me to say that. I apologize. I was just confronted by a woman who would not put up with my bullshit.
Yep. I love it. And Conservative seems to be getting a rough ride, at least in the Ontario municipal elections. He's running in London. It seems that Mark Sutcliffe, that's who's running in Ottawa, and who has apparently written some editorials saying that there should be some compassion or something for the protesters.
Yeah,
and is running.
I kind of dumped on him last night for it. I dumped on him because he went on about in his column. This column was written during the occupation, by the way. And he went on and on about, we're not giving support for business. The police aren't doing their job. Not one single mention, not one of the residents of Centertown. Not one.
Yep, and he's also apparently mused about pulling away municipal funding for Capital Pride, for the Franco-Ontarian Festival, and the Tulip Festival. Now, I think that, what a dick, number one. And I'm not just saying that because I just happen to be a gay Franco-Ontarian who lived right next door to Major Hill Park, where the Tulip Festival was all my life as a kid until until it moved to Dow's Lake, where I have very happy memories of time with my mom when she was still alive. I mean, this is like, come on. And just more and more people are coming out in favor of Catherine McKinney.
Catherine McKinney. Yeah.
McKinney.
They are
pronouncing it wrong. Yeah,
the McKinney. They are a good candidate. I mean, I'm not in love with their entire platform. The one thing that I need to do a deep dive on is the I've read about, but I've not had a chance to really discuss it with her online or in person, is the $268 million they want to spend on bike lanes. Now, I've heard the rumor. I've not been able to substantiate that, and I've been super busy lately. I think that's a little excessive and a little ridiculous when we have a homeless problem in the nation's capital of a G7 wealthy country. I think that $268 million could be better spent on housing, but that's just me.
Yep.
So, hey, look, let's face it, you're never going to see eye to eye 100% of the time with any politician of any stripe.
Exactly. You're never going to support 100%. Anybody that says that I support 100% of someone's program, they're bought and paid for and in the pocket.
Yeah,
Right.
you can't. But I think they are the best candidate for this city and the citizens of this city more than anything else.
Yep. And the thing that I'm finding interesting is, at least in this race, you have Bruce Anderson of Abacus Polling, I believe, who says, like, Mark Sutcliffe's a personal friend, but I'm sorry, I gotta support Catherine McKinney. Catherine McKenna, former Minister of Environment
Hmm.
and Climate Change. It's like you were having politicians from different levels getting involved in the municipal. So
Yes.
hopefully that will help spur turnout. I think municipal election in Ottawa in particular may be one where we have a more decent voter turnout because this one's actually compelling.
Well, and there's something else to be said about that. When I was visiting my sister over the Thanksgiving weekend, she and I had an interesting conversation about how municipal elections. I'd love to see a 100% voter turnout because a municipal election
Right.
has a direct effect on your everyday life. It is the one aspect of politics that affects every part of your life on a daily basis. So if you don't vote in a municipal election, you are harming yourself. She also
Right.
tried to get me to run for a municipal council or city seat, and I'm like, I don't think so.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh,
And
I
she's
think
like,
you would be good.
you should run. You'd have support. And I'm like, too many people have seen my penis. I don't think I can do that.
But
I've dated a lot of ladies in my lifetime because I was a club DJ and the '90s were fun. I don't need that part of my life in the public spotlight. Like, sure, there's a bit of public spotlight on us here with this, but we have control over this, right? To a
right.
degree. But look, people will come out of the woodwork to cut you down, and I don't need that. Also, I don't want my mom hearing about those things. She's a lovely Catholic lady in her 70s, and I don't want my private dirty laundry, I don't want it aired publicly. Is what I'm getting at.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
maybe
that's one
maybe
of
in
the
a few
reasons.
years.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons too. If anybody asked me, it's like, ooh, the things that could fall out of the things that I did.
Right. And here's the thing. I'm not embarrassed or
No, not
ashamed
at
of
all.
any of it. I'm not. I am not. Don't misunderstand. That's not the case. It's just
You're
some
opening
people
the door
may.
to something.
Yes, and I don't want to harm anybody else. So
Right.
that's my reasoning. Now, who knows? In a few years, I might just say to heck with it, and throw caution to the wind, and let's see. But it's just now's not the right time. Look, I get paid after midnight tonight, and thank goodness because I've got $3 in my bank account. So you see what I'm saying? It's like trying to run a municipal for a municipal seat is not going to work.
Yep. This is the Stone So Bitchy, which says some skeletons need to stay locked up. It's nobody's business, and everybody's entitled to their secret gardens.
Well, it's true. We're allowed to have a private life, and I don't need it.
And a past.
I don't. Yes. Yes.
Right?
And
And
here's
a
the thing: it's
past.
like people who have trolls that'll try and pick on Dean for his past, and I'm like, hey, asshole! It's called growth. Have you paid attention to his show? If you did, you'd realize the man who is still in therapy is working on himself.
Right.
Great.
And it's the same thing when conservatives keep on bringing up the blackface incident. Yes, he did it. Yes, he's admitted it. But like, come on, man. Right?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
there's a reason. What somebody has done since then also matters. It's like the only people that seem to be stuck at one point in time of their life and have never evolved, and they're against evolution. So there you go. This band of conservatives. So that's kind of par for course. I think we
Clearly.
have a show, Mr. Grizzly, because you need to get going.
We do. I got to
Okay,
hop
I
in the
have one
shower,
thing.
get dressed, and head out.
We have one little
Go ahead.
thing on the share screen that you wanted to mention specifically as we go. So we'll put it in the extra as in the, if you want to do something, the democracy is something you do part, so that we can mention it. So Kits, that is this episode of Just a Nibble, the Not Quite Daily Beaver podcast. We hope you love listening to us this morning because I don't know if I love waking up early, but we love making this for you. Senator 75, good. If you have time, please be sure to listen to our episode Cost of Living, like we mentioned, so that you can get an idea of what the federal government is trying to do to help you with cost of inflation. And as Krista Freeland said, and I like that in the video, she pre-butted the argument that, this won't do anything, this won't help. Yes, of course, they're not going to come and like give you a full year's worth salary. That's not going to happen. They're not going to solve all your problems. How it works. But the goal is to try to give you a hand up. Because democracy is something you do, please donate to the Red Cross to help with Hurricane Fiona relief. But also, if you live in the Ottawa area, please donate to, is it Cornerstone House? No.
Cornerstone Housing for Women.
Cornerstone Housing for Women. If you could put the asset up, they've had they've had a bit of. I did the share screen.
Oh, you did? Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, it's in the share screen. Whoops, that's sorry, that's my bad. Hold on, I'll bring it right up. There we go.
To fix it.
There we go. Yep, there we go. They've made an appeal. They're looking for new twin bed sheets, new twin comforters, new queen pillowcases, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, mops, brooms, dustpans, buckets, and toilet bowl brushes. Basically household items like that, things that can, help people when they're setting up. Well,
they had a fire recently, right?
Yes. So anything that you can do to help, and of course, money always helps. So if you have a couple of dollars in your pocket and you can donate to Cornerstone Women's Shelter in Ottawa, if you're not in Ottawa and you can't donate the items, that's the way you can help too. Please give a hand, because they're a very good organization, and it's definitely worth your support.
And BT Dubs, peeps, friends, family, lovers of this show, all of these T-shirts that we are selling, we are going to donate a portion of the profits after we've paid all the bills to Cornerstone Housing for Women to try and keep them going, because they have had an absolutely horrendous year this year. Combined with the occupation in February, where they had to shut the shelter down, and the recent fire. So we're going to do what we can to try and help them out, and we appreciate your efforts as well.
All right. Okay. If you really like this podcast, you couldn't find. Okay. Find us on the Dean Blundell Network. Support us at Coffee. Okay. KOFI.com. Send us email at truenortheagerbeaver.com. Subscribe to our pod page at podpage.com. The True North Eager Beaver with a hyphen between each one of those words. And like I said, get some merch if you can, and roll the credits. There we go.
The True North Eager Beaver podcast is an Eager Beaver Mr. Grizzly collaboration. Research, story, and guest curation, and copy written by the Eager Beaver. Recording, production, editing, and additional research by Mr. Grizzly. Music courtesy of Ben Sound royalty-free music. Once again, thank you to our founding sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss Fee Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing and CanadianTarot.com, and thank you to Pete Jarvis for our artwork. We love it. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye.
Take care.
Have a stellar day.
You too.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.